Our last show was about the illusion of duality, and how knowledge gives us true reality by discovering the idea that objectively corresponds to our observation. The tool that enables us to discover ideas is thinking. In this show we will examine thinking by means of introspective observation.
Welcome to Philosophy of Freedom Jeopardy! Let's welcome today's contestants. A biologist from Hong Kong, Jenny Chang. A video gamer from Seattle, known as Spider Guts. An anthroposophist from London, Dr. Friedrich Heinrich. And now, here is our host, YouTube sensation, Rudolf Steiner.
All our questions are from Rudolf Steiner's 1894 original and unrevised edition of The Philosophy of Freedom, translated to English in 1916 by Alfred Honel. Let's get to work and play Philosophy of Freedom Jeopardy! Today's categories are taken from Chapter 3, entitled Thinking to Understand the World. They are thinking, observation of thinking, and pure thinking. Jen, your selection please.
Thinking for 100 please.
We are free to think or not think. If we choose to think, what is the purpose of thinking about an observation?
Thinking discovers the concepts that correspond to the observation.
Right.
Thinking for 200 please.
What do we gain by thinking?
By discovering the concepts that correspond to an event, we can predict what will happen.
Right.
Thinking for 300 please, Rudolf.
Is feeling on the same level as thinking?
To think and form a concept I must be active, and make an effort. With feeling I am passive, as a feeling is something that just happens to me.
Right.
Thinking for 400 please.
When a feeling is aroused in me by an event, the feeling is about me, my personality. When thinking is kindled by an event, what do I learn? Someone else?
Thinking is not about me. I learn nothing about myself, but instead, I learn about the event.
Right.
Thinking for 500 please.
When you decide to think, how do you do it?
When thinking about an object, my full attention is turned to it. I am absorbed in it. I pay no heed to my thought activity, because my attention is on the object I am thinking about.
Right. Our remaining categories from Chapter 3 are the observation of thinking and pure thinking. Spider?
Observation of thinking for 100 please.
How do I observe my thinking? Someone else?
Just push this button. Each of us has a button.
Yes.
The observation of thinking consists of 2 steps. First create thought, then observe thought. I can never observe the present thinking in which I am actually engaged. Instead, I recall a past thought or an earlier thought process to examine.
Right.
Observation of thinking for 200 please.
While the observation of objects, and thinking about them, are everyday occurrences that fill my life, why is the observation of thinking a kind of exceptional state?
The observation of thinking is only exceptional when we receive imaginations out of the spiritual world.
Incorrect. Someone else?
The exceptional state is to apply the same attentive observation to thinking that we use for the study of other things in the world. We take thinking for granted, so do not normally study our thinking processes.
Right, Spider?
Observation of thinking for 300 please.
Why can we know our thinking more immediately and intimately than any other process in the world?
Thinking is different than other things. It has transparent clarity. I immediately know the context and details of how it takes place.
Right.
Observation of thinking for 400 please.
Why is thinking the only thing I know with absolute certainty? Someone else?
I know thinking with absolute certainty, because I bring it into existence.
Right.
Observation of thinking for 500 please.
It's the daily double. How much would you like to wager, Jen?
800 please.
The thoughts we produce are facts, so it is meaningless to speak of whether facts are right or wrong. In what way, though, can I have doubt about thinking?
We can have doubts about whether thoughts are correctly applied to the world.
Right. That puts you in the lead, Jen, with $1,800. Our final category, Jen, is pure thinking.
Let's try pure thinking for 100 please.
How do we know that pure thinking is not directed by physical processes in the brain?
What I observe in studying a thought process is not what brain process links one thought with another, but my reason for bringing them into relationship. While thinking, I am guided solely by the content of my thoughts, not some physical process in the brain.
Right.
Pure thinking for 200 please.
What is the content of pure thinking? Someone else?
The content of pure thinking is universal concepts that do not refer to anything specific. For example, the general concept triangle does not refer to any one specific triangle.
Right.
Pure thinking for 300 please.
Where does pure thinking take place?
Pure thinking takes place in the conceptual sphere.
Right.
Pure thinking for 400 please.
Why must we start with thinking, if we are to understand the world?
Pure thinking is self-supporting and self-subsisting, not dependent on anything else. Starting with thinking as our basis, we can go on and attempt to understand the world.
Right again, Spider.
Pure thinking for 500 please.
Where does freedom occur most purely?
Freedom originates on the level of pure concepts and ideas. This is the place of pure thinking that is liberated from the biological and characterological influences that normally control us.
Right for $500. It's time for Final Jeopardy. Lock in your Final Jeopardy wager now. You'll have 10 seconds to answer this question. How is pure thinking achieved? Time is up. Friedrich, your answer is? It requires perception exercises, concentration exercises, and then meditation exercises. With a wager of $100. Incorrect. That reduces your total to $0. Jen? Anyone who can think in universal concepts, such as in mathematics or philosophy, has already entered into pure thinking, right? Your wager of $1,800 brings your total to $3,600. Spider, if you answer correctly, with a wager over $800, you will win Philosophy of Freedom Jeopardy. Anyone who can think in universal concepts, such as in mathematics or philosophy, has already entered into pure thinking. Correct. With a wager of $801, your total is $3,601, making you our new champion. So long everyone. See you next time.